Did you send me a drive invitation?
Did I send you a what?
Google Drive invitation. Did you
Oh,
ever email that to me?
yes. I did. It should be in your email. I didn't approve it yet.
Oh, when did you pull this up over here? Um, did you send it to my email?
That's a good question.
Okay, I started the stream, by the way, if you want to try
Oh
to
wait,
not.
you did not give me an email. That's what it was.
Here, let me give it to you right
'Cause I
now.
told you to give me your email and you didn't do that.
I sent it to you in Discord. I will be right back. 1 second. Will you send that over?
All right. Yep.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Accept. Joining Pockets Art. Wait, I'm joining you?
I have no idea.
Not
I
sure
just
how.
clicked like knocking or whatever. I have no idea what it does.
Allow.
Oh, so it's morning time where you are, Vandar. Nice, nice. Yeah, I have a couple of I'm talking in both Discord and on the stream, and so it's kind of
Oh,
confusing me. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm not
Let
talking to
me.
you, Moktaz.
Okay, say something now.
Yeah, in Discord or on stream.
On stream. Or whatever, Discord. I muted the audio. So, hmm, camera on. Allow. So this does it through Twitch, not OBS. Camera is in use elsewhere. Hmm.
I do see your ugly mug on your stream.
Yep. I see me on here too. But it says camera is in use elsewhere.
He says to mute the mics on stream and have the sound go through Discord. It seems like he has all the control of it, though. Oh wait,
Me?
maybe I have.
That you see on my stream what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So can I? Huh.
So I turned off mic there.
Uh, choose a webcam. Okay, let's just not have a webcam, I guess.
Yo,
Cancel.
thank you for the raid, boys.
Hmm. Oh, share your screen. Let's do window. Or no, let's do entire screen. And let's do screen 1. And let's do share. Okay, there we go.
So
This is...
do you see? Okay, so I don't have that option. So I have we.
This is like, I'm super confused if I'm streaming through this or if I'm streaming through OBS. Right?
Okay, so you're streaming through OBS. I am too. I don't know how the Twitch thing goes. Like, I have no idea how this works. But here, we could actually just start going through this and figure that out later.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah. Like, how do I?
Oh, did you ever send me that email? Oh, yeah, you did. Right there.
Kind of throw your face onto my screen. So I did send you the email. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I just opened it.
So we're doing this really low key situation.
Wait, you said you can throw
I
my
threw your face so you'll be on the bottom left right of my screen.
Are we doing this on your stream or on my stream?
Yeah, but you're in an ad right now, so. Huh? I'm on your stream in Twitch.
But are you streaming on Twitch as well?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Are you streaming my stream? Is that what you're doing?
Maybe, yeah. All right, but not the full thing, just your face. All right, so yo, Fant, MX. I'm also going to stream this on Discord so you can see what I'm looking at. All right.
Oh, there we are. I see what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay, so I have it pulled up on Discord so you can see there, and you can kind of see what I'm looking at. So
how did you get just my face?
It's tab down there, and you have it on the top left of your screen, so I was able to throw it down there. Trust me, it's not very tech savvy at all. It's pretty horrible.
Well, how did you do that? Because I want to throw that on mine. Oh, Vandar, thanks for the follow.
Yeah, I don't even know, dude. All right, so on here, looking at these skills that you see on my screen, right? Or not the skills. Looking at the classes, right?
Yeah, stand by. I'm getting myself lost here. Okay, I see what we're looking at here.
So what I want you to do, Moktaz, I want you to look at this list and kind of think about, like, number one, I know one of these for you. Like, you played a hunter for 5 years in WoW.
Yeah.
And so
No, I played a hunter
now,
for 20 years in WoW.
yeah, yeah. So I'm guessing like Ranger would be like that kind of play style, like the just straight, that kind of thing. I would assume that Ranger Summoner is going to be something like a Beastmaster, but I'm not sure, right? And
Falconeer,
so
yeah.
what I would say is go through here and just tell me which ones, based on games you've played before, what you think you would like, which kind of thing you would resonate with, or what I did on mine as well is just any that have like a badass sounding name. I want you to tell me what those are based on what you've played before.
Um, okay, so like just right off the rip, Dreadnought just speaks to me. I think that's just a great sounding name. Fighter and tank. Yeah, you're gonna have to make that a little bit adjust the opacity on that. Yeah,
Yes.
Hawkeye, Dreadnought just sounds super cool. I think Hunter, the classic
So,
Hunter, Fighter
do you
Ranger.
think do you think like Summoner,
Yeah,
like with
yeah, yeah,
the
definitely,
head, like
definitely.
Beast Mastery kind of
Hmm.
thing, right?
Absolutely.
What was the next one you said? Oh, Hunter.
Fighter Ranger, the one that literally takes your archetype to Hunter. Let's see what else. So like realistically, like what I kind of viewed myself at, right? I wanted to have my main priority be Ranger, be able to damage, but also, I really enjoy doing like difficult solo content, like
Mhm.
in when Classic WoW first released, right? I was doing, solo tribute runs. I was doing solo Lower Blackrock Spire. I was doing all like the maximum difficulty uh, stuff you could do as a hunter, right? Back in the day, there were these videos in Vanilla WoW of this night elf hunter. I forget the name of the person. I don't know if anyone's ever seen these videos, but it was called Hunter vs. the World. And it was basically solo tribute runs in 2005 of this night elf hunter that was just full tier 2 gear. Great videos if you ever want to look back. I don't even know if they're on YouTube. I'm actually really curious about that. Look that up.
Um, what is your you? Because right now you're playing a monk in retail, right?
Yes.
What kind of play style do you think that is? Like, would that be a cleric, or you're just like not really into cleric, or
Monk would be like maybe a high sword right there. Maybe like a fighter mixed with the cleric. Like I definitely enjoy healing a lot, right? But
okay?
so I guess
So here's one thing, because you're an Ashes baby, and that's how I have this like labeled as Ashes baby, because you don't really understand. So from what I understand, if you go fighter cleric, you cannot heal others, but you might have some like healing augments. And so from what I understand is if you want to heal, even like an off healer, you would rather go with something like a Templar instead of a high sword, because a cleric with a fighter secondary is going to be able to off heal,
right.
whereas a high sword is only going to have like probably like self sustain, maybe like damage, life steal kind of things like that.
Hmm.
So would you also do Templar, or you want more of like just the self sustaining kind of stuff?
Well, so my thought was like more of the self-sustaining stuff. So like ranger cleric for the soul bow down there. I think that soul bow. I'm not gonna lie. I think that was a miss on the name. I think they could have done a little
Yes,
better
yes.
there.
Okay, so here, let me show you mine really quick. This
Hmm.
is this is what I ended up doing. I did this back like last July. And so all the ones that I really definitely wanted to play, I put in green, right?
Hmm.
All the ones that I like, I have zero desire at all to play anything summoner, and so like about the only one like I played in Diablo 2, Diablo 3, and Diablo 4. I played a Necro, and I basically played as a Brood Warden. Like the summons I had were the ones that tanked for me,
Hmm.
and so like I could see that kind of stuff, but like I really had very little desire, and this is ideally what we want to do. We want to look at which ones resonate with you the most. So like in this case, like cleric really resonates with me, tank really resonates with me. everything else, like I have one or two that like Bard, not really, and so like this is what we want coming out of this. We're gonna have
Right.
some that like based on the name, I don't want to be an oracle at all. They're like based on the bard the name, I don't want to be a minstrel at all. So even if it's not a green, but it's like okay, we'll leave it blank like this. And if there's any that you say no to, let me know and I could just go ahead and mark those off as well.
Right.
Do you have any others?
Sorry. Um, so so I would say no to Paladin. I mean, there's a bunch that I think I would just say no to, like right off the rip. I
Okay,
like the
send them.
idea. Um, Paladin, no. The Minstrel, absolutely not. Bard. I mean, that's gonna be
Now
a no.
the double. Okay, so this right here, this little tier all the way down here, the bard, the cleric, fighter, all of these are going to be the best of the like the minstrel will be a better bard than all of the other secondaries there. The high priest will be a better cleric than all of the other secondaries, and so like these are going to be a higher tier. They're going to be like so. If you are wanting to do something like Hawkeye, you will be a more ideal ranger than all of the other rangers. So.
Right. I get that for sure. Um, yeah, Hawkeye, I like the idea of scout, a ranger with, some stealthy
Same,
abilities,
yeah.
right? I think that's super cool.
They actually have a Predator video, but it was like back from like 2018. It is really cool to watch. It's like all cinematic and stuff.
Yeah, I'm going through and it's interesting because I was going through uh the ranger archetype video,
Uh-huh.
right? The development update of it, but when you think
This
about
one.
it, that was back, yeah, it's December 19th of 2023. That was almost a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm just had been going
It,
through right now and just pulled up.
I have a few of these that I want to kind of show you, but I'm going to get to that after I get to you with this stuff, and that's after we get through what we're going through with what we're in right now.
Hmm.
But there are some really big things. Like, and these are all things that I think you'll either like or you might like, or based on what I've heard other people say. So, what other ones are no goes on here?
Um, uh, Brood Warden, I would say, is a no-go. I mean, I really don't have, I think, any interest in playing a bard. So I think you can just probably cross out the entire top row.
Did you watch the Bard Showcase? You probably haven't.
I did, yes.
Oh, okay,
I mean,
okay,
I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm not gonna lie. I skimmed it, and I watched some of it
okay,
live
okay. All right.
actually, and it did look interesting. Like I think it's a super cool class, that is going to give a really good dynamic to the game. But that being said, I don't think it's for me. I mean,
Okay.
depending on if I get a bunch of free time that opens up, hey, who knows? Maybe I'll give it a shot. But I don't think that I have interest in it off the rip, right?
Gotcha.
Um,
Well, that actually helps out. So,
yeah,
yeah.
that narrows down the field a little bit, doesn't it?
Why do I have an echo with you now? I didn't have it before.
That's a good question. Um, that is a very good question. Stand by.
Did you open my stream?
I do have your stream open, but I have it muted.
Yeah.
I'm streaming your
Oh,
stream on my
you have it in
stream.
Discord. Muted in Discord.
Oh, I don't think I have your stream open in Discord.
Oh, I don't know. Okay. I have no idea
Maybe I
then.
do. No, I don't. Wait.
Okay.
No, I don't. But I did have this. Do I need to mute that? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that
You can.
actually
Did that fix it?
it fixed it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any other of the well? Here's the other thing that I didn't show you till now, but because these are not available at the start of Alpha 2, I went ahead and crossed off the Rogue and Ranger or the Rogue and Summoner. Um, and so like
Rogue
I
and
crossed
Summoner are
these
not
out.
available.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
At the
neither of
start
those
of
are.
Alpha 2.
Okay. Sweet.
So you'll get Rogue in December 20th of
Right.
this year,
Okay. The
and
phase
you
two
will
of
get
Alpha 2,
Summoner
basically.
around May 1st. So,
Cool.
okay, so we're going to start with this, what we have right here then, right?
Yeah.
So you have some that like I would look and I would say fighter and ranger seem to be your two that you like resonate with the most.
Hmm.
And you actually have more in fighter, but I don't know if that's actually accurate or not. And so
Well, no, if
based
you
off,
didn't cross out Rogue and Summoner, then I would have more.
yes,
I'd
yes,
have
yes,
more in the Ranger.
but you couldn't even use those anyways. So it just kind of sucks. But and I didn't do this with mine either, but I do have Predator, Scout, I think Hawkeye on mine. But
I
yeah,
guess another one I might be interested in would be, well, I guess two, like Strider or Sentinel, which is Ranger Fighter, Ranger Tank. Um,
yeah.
I
And
think,
here's the other thing is the secondary augments don't even happen probably until phase 3 because that's when you have all the other primary augments.
right.
And so we're
And
probably not even get those till May.
have they talked about your ability to change those secondary or main augments?
Yes, your secondary augment you are able to change after a significant quest line.
Oh,
But only your secondary you're able to change.
okay.
All right, so that moves us on over here to this. All right, so you have both Ranger and Fighter, and sadly, I have not gone through the Fighter up to till date. I'm going to be start going over it, so I don't have a lot of information on it. So I try to do it anyways. So these are the things that I noticed about the Fighter, and I've not broke it down, so I don't have a lot of really good stuff about it. I do know that the other day Jamie Chaos said that there's and like it seemed very similar to what the Ranger like CC break is.
Hmm.
He was saying that it has an 8-second CC break with a time of immunity, and it's on a very short cooldown. And then they also have they have like a life steal that goes as well. Yo, Psycho, how's it going? And then with that, you can reset your cooldowns. And so, like on like a 2-minute cooldown or something like that. And so, like basically, you can have 16 seconds of immunity and like hyper life steal, and you're able to reset it. I don't know if this is accurate. Jamie might have been lying to us. But I also noticed they had a ton of like gap closers that they can close on, their target that's running away and stuff like that. I think this will be very, very similar to how um, a Fury Prot would be in WoW as far as like PvE goes. Um, and have you played Swartor?
No.
Okay, Psycho says it has a lot of similarities to the Juggernaut from Swartor, but I haven't played
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I just looked in your
Um,
chat, so I'm reading that too. They're
yeah,
very
okay, okay.
scary in PvP.
Um, uh, and like they have a mechanic called oh, what's their building thing? Momentum. They have momentum. And so like when you stack up more momentum, you can actually use that for like their ultimate kind of ability and stuff like that. It's going to be like in PvP, they're going to be very similar to an MS warrior from WoW.
Right.
In PvE, I think they'll be very similar to like a Fury Prot, and I
Hmm.
think that they'll be able to do enough damage even if they're like targeted towards PvE in PvP. So I think
Hmm.
this is going to be like a really fun class to play. And I haven't gone over it yet, so I don't know too much about it. But the Ranger, in the Ranger Showcase, it says that it's the second most mobile class. That's one thing I wanted to say right here, because what Psycho said. I kind of disagree with them being a pseudo tank.
With
and
what,
I got
the fighter?
Yes, with the fighter. And here is why. In this live stream, and I just moused over your face because I max screened it. But you'll see right here, this Raider came in and hit Usul, and it took like 20% of his health with their first hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Usul is the tank in here, and Jindrak is a fighter, okay? Hey, a lot of people didn't notice this, but Jindrak is going to take one of these hits too. And you will notice that Jindrak lost half of his fucking health with that one hit. So what was like 15, 20 on the tank? Yeah,
these. I mean, that's like. I mean, what if that would have slapped a cleric, right?
How much it would have been a lot more,
right? Would it be 80%?
But I would say you just want the tank to get the hit. Like I would say you don't want this guy to be off tanking. That's way too much of a chunk
absolutely.
To take. And so
if the Flame Guard Raider slaps him 2 more times, he's dead.
Which I think that's like a 20-second cooldown on that. I think it's like a 20-second cooldown on that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that Jamie Chaos is saying that he loves the fighter kit so much, and he's hoping that he's able to tank with the fighter kit. And I don't think you can. Now, there's a chance that this warrior, like talking WoW terms, this warrior has on all leather gear, and so he's foregone his armor for the the higher damaged leather kind of stuff, and so he's going to take hits, and he shouldn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was way too much that you could not main tank this area because you have 2 of these guys that's going to hit you, and if whatever armor he's wearing, and we don't see that, we don't really know what he's wearing. This is like the base set that they've all been wearing for everything. So I don't know. You might be able to itemize for it, but I would say if you itemize like what Jindrak is, you're not going to main tank in an 8-man group area. So that was my note on that. And so I would say that it's like that's a negative thing if you're planning on tanking with it. But if you're planning on doing DPS, everything else is great, especially with the CC immunity and the healing stuff, right?
Yeah.
For me personally, I think the Ranger looks really, really strong. I think it's going to be a very good class to play. I think it's going to be one of the top PvE damage builds. I think it'll be very strong in PvP as well.
Yeah, I agree completely.
I really don't think there's any negatives about the kit and about the class at all. It just, for me, it looks like the same hunter from WoW, and it just kind of looks boring compared to that, right? I personally have always wanted to play a meme spec character, something that is underrated and seen as not a real DPS, and then pump DPS, improve otherwise, right? Sure. And so this is just not interesting to me. I didn't put it as a red for that because like it just seems like a normal ranger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very similar to WoW. I'm not sure how the augments are going to make a difference between like a beastmaster or like a marksman, but it seems very similar to that. And I know you had reason to understand that. So these are 2 that, based on what we went over, that probably seems like something that you'd kind of go towards, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then this is where I want to give you all the other information for the other things that I'll let you kind of decide where you would want to go. Psycho, I did a 2s arena with my Boomkin and a Shockaden.
God, I remember when you were trying to play Shockaden. It was so disgusting. Not in a good way.
Yeah, I know. I was horrible with Shockaden.
Oh, but yeah.
This Randy that I was with in arenas, like the way the Boomkin works is when you and Mocktails, remember when we did the 2s and
before Burning Crusade, it was just
no before Burning Crusade in like Classic when you had like your like it was the end like the pre The
Oh,
pre-expansion.
yes, yes, yes. The pre-expansion.
Yeah.
The hunter
We
was invincible. Nobody
yeah.
could kill the Beastmaster hunter. Zero people. I
And
could
then I
kill
would throw my trees as
anybody.
well. We just fucked everybody up. It was
Yeah.
great.
Like we went
All
like
right.
36 and 2 or something like that.
Yeah, it was gross. All right. So the other ones that I want to talk about. Number one, uh, Mage to me. They've not done an updated showcase of the Mage, and I don't really want them to.
Hmm.
Um, I'm going to go into like what weapons are going to be out as well, and this might actually be more of a like more. It might be just as powerful as your augments in what class you play.
Right.
Um, and so like your weapon is very very strong. It's not like New World where it's everything,
Yeah.
but it's an augment I think as equal to as your class you choose to pick. So we'll go over that a little bit later. So the two that I think are going to be the most high needs, and Psycho, this is for you because I pulled this out. Like I was looking, I was like, oh hey, this is what he was talking about. Um, but the tanks, from what I see, they are not going to be like a prot warrior in WoW. I don't think that that's how the tank is going to play in this game. I feel that in PvE, the main tank is going to be kind of lackluster. Where I think that the tank's actually going to be very, very strong is in the PvP and PvX scenarios, because of how much control and lockdown they have. If you are playing something like the high mobility ranger and rogue, I believe that a tank could sit on you and make your life fucking miserable, even though you have so much mobility. Now,
Right.
the hunter does have an 8 second get out of jail card, and like it's immune to CC for like a good amount of time. And so like with that,
Everybody seems to like several classes have that 8-second get out of jail card. The rogue has
it,
it.
yeah.
The ranger has it.
Wait,
The
what do you mean the rogue has it? Because I don't know if he does.
scroll down. Scroll down on the
Uh,
page you're on.
yeah, it's right there.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't quite see it. Your face is over it. Oh no, I guess
Oh, the
just
only
the
two that
ranger
we
has
know
it
that
on
have
mine.
it is the fighter and the ranger. Those are the only two that we know have
Oh,
a
okay.
CC immunity at this moment. Also, the way that they said that the ranger is the second most mobile class,
Hmm.
um, only second to the rogue. The fact that Bard is so fucking mobile and the fighter is so fucking mobile, like these are two very high mobility classes, and so like I don't know if Ranger necessarily is or not, but I think it's because of that cooldown that they have. But like I would say Fighter and Ranger are like neck and neck for their immunity and stuff.
I think that
Um,
one thing that goes along with extreme mobility is it really raises the skill cap of the archetype.
how to use it well.
Exactly.
Yep, yep.
Not only are you, you know, constantly throwing out all your spells, but you're also positioning, repositioning, trying to gain the advantage of, positioning quickly,
I
with a feature like Shadow Step or something like that, right?
yeah. I think what
Oh,
Psycho said
Tarkin,
right
thanks for the
there,
follow.
that glass cannon typically, like I think that you're gonna melt. And so if you don't utilize that immunity and you don't get your gap, then I think you're dead. And so like yes, you have it, but like and there's a lot of really cool things. I said I just mentioned it quickly, like with the different shots, marks, and hunts.
Yeah.
Um, so you can actually have three different. Right now, they have three different ammo types. They have weighted shot. Um, weighted shot is like a constant like 2 second snare. Like it's like you're actually getting hit by the bullet and you can't actually move.
And it's
Like it's like
slowing
a
you down every time you
yeah.
get
It's
hit by
that
a
kind of.
bullet. Interesting.
They have one that it's a bleed and another one that's something else. Like, and I could look that up, but like, I think you're already sold on Ranger, and so that's why I want to kind of like go past it. There is going to
Hmm.
be a skill ceiling with Ranger, but I don't think that it's going to be as hard as other classes are to kind of figure out.
Have
So
they
yeah, like, oh, go on.
have they talked at all about the difference in the ranger's ability, or not ability, but um, functionality, I guess, using a longbow versus a short bow?
So we have not seen anything but short bows in all of the showcases.
Okay.
Now I looked that up as well. Where's the one that I was just looking at? It's not that. Huh. No, did I really just close the one that had all my videos open? Oh no, here it is. Okay, okay.
You
So,
reopen tab.
when I mouse over bows, long bows and short bows, maybe it's down here. Hold on.
Reference. Yeah, it says live stream on the reference. Is that what you're looking for?
No, this is what I'm looking for. So longbow basic attack. It says a slower, powerful, long range basic attack.
Mm-hmm.
Tapping the button will shoot normally, but holding the basic attack button will charge the
Charge
shot
it up.
and root the player to cause added damage. And so we've seen a lot of the short bow, but in this live stream here, he actually goes over what will be in the launch of Alpha 2 as far as weapons. And so you will have longbows. And I saw this just before the stream, and I'm like, holy shit, that's actually really. Because the longbow is one thing I'm actually very interested in. I don't want to play a short bow with like a machine gun level speed and everything like that. And so
Right.
I'm actually really interested in what the longbow will do. But we're getting off track. But hey, Grumpy. Now I got to find the other thing that I'm looking for. I'm going to close this one.
The long range auto route does sound really strong.
It roots you. It roots you.
Oh, it
The
roots
ranger.
the ranger.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds less than well. Okay, so it probably roots you while you're charging up the shot.
Yeah.
You
It's like
release the
aim
shot,
shot.
you're unrooted. Okay.
Aim
Okay.
shot. You had to stand still, right?
Yeah, you have to hold still while you're doing the
Yeah.
charge
Yeah.
shot.
It's that sort of thing,
Okay,
but it's going to give you increased damage.
that makes sense.
And so I actually feel that the longbow will lead more towards like sniper kind of play style as
Yeah,
opposed to like kind of in the shit. You want to be much further out
and that
and like go
that's
on.
what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking as well, right? Like, if you want maximum mobility as a ranger, you're gonna run the short bow. If you run the long
Yes,
bow, you're
yes.
gonna lose you're still gonna be mobile, but you're not gonna be as mobile as you can be, right?
So
Now,
that would be like the difference between a marksman hunter and a survival hunter, right?
yeah, exactly. Um, Now is the only weapon that you're gonna have is a bow, or do you get a melee weapon as well for close combat?
Any class can use any weapon.
Right,
Any
but can
class
any
can have
class use
that.
two weapons at a time? Like, are you gonna have two weapons equipped at a time, or only one weapon equipped?
So
Like, I don't think
the
I've
answer to
played an
that,
MMO where you can only equip one weapon at a time.
yeah, yeah, you can swap. There's a stream, the caravan stream, where that's not correct either, Ezekiel King. And welcome in, by the way. So there's a stream, the Caravan PvP live stream. There's a tank that comes into the fight. He has a two-handed sword equipped and a
Hmm.
bow equipped. And he actually shield charges without a shield on his stuff, which they said that you should not be able to do. And it was done in this live stream. And I talked to Vertec about it, and he feels that that's just like a bug, and it shouldn't be that way because the way it reads, you should not be able to use that skill without a shield. And now I do believe that there's others that you can, and I'll have to look into that. I'm going to find the answer out to that
Sure.
on
Yeah.
what you can have.
Hmm.
But they did say that dual wielded daggers are going to be in, and you can do things like dual wielded dagger and a short sword, dual short sword and like a one handed mace, like that kind of stuff as well.
Hmm.
And so like they have all of these that are going to be in.
Okay.
So I think that the play style, and I know that you don't play League of Legends, but I do, and so like I put this in here. But I also like I know that you played New
I
World,
told
and
you
so I
I
think
told you I'd start playing League with you, and you said
I
you didn't want me
know
to
it's
bring
just
you down.
no, that's not what I said. I said it's
Dang, dude.
well, thanks for coming in here, V man, and
Yeah,
getting that
V-Man.
one.
Sheesh, I'm
Welcome to the
sorry.
party,
I'm
homie.
sorry. Need to hit him with
He was
that, bro.
so quiet.
Sheesh.
So the reason
A
why
fly
is
on the
because
wall.
there's 160 fucking classes in League, and it's just not. It's not okay to get you into League to try and learn it in a month and a half before
What's
Ashes come out.
crazy is I have no idea what was said, but my Zoomer instincts kicked in, and it sounded like some trash talk. So I had to double down on it, even though I don't even know
Yeah,
the
yeah,
words that came out
yeah.
because I was watching a
It
video.
was. So I know you weren't listening and paying attention.
I'd
So
never do that though.
the one that I do know that you would know is the two-handed mace in New World. The way that just went
Yes.
around and caused chaos, slowed
Hmm.
people, like it was all about the CC and control. They also put out decent enough damage, but they were like just fucking sustainy and tanky and CC,
Well,
right?
that's I mean that's what I played in New World, right? I was
Yeah.
the healing staff and the two-handed mace.
Yes, and so it was all about like yeah, and so I also think that the in the Node Wars live stream, there was different clerics. You had the backline cleric that was sitting in the back and just casting and like tab targeting, but you
Right.
also had other clerics that were like up armored and stuff, and they were in on the front line next to the tanks and stuff like that, and they were like more of a melee cleric. And so like that actually sounds like something that would be kind of interesting. And I'm going to go into cleric now. From what I see, based on the skills they have, there's a big lack of mobility in the cleric. And I think clerics are going to be the number one target.
In
But
PvP,
this
that's
kind
going
of
to be difficult, right? Like, are you going to be able to play straight cleric in PvP if you don't have any mobility and you're squishy as hell?
so you have one gap creator, but you have to cast it to a to a friendly. It's called Wings of Salvation. It's a pretty long dash, but you only have one of them every 30 seconds. And so, like, that's the only mobility skill that you have. And unlike WoW, you don't have, like, Psychic Scream to cause a gap. You have Chains of Restraint, which is like a small snare. And, like, that's an AoE snare. But, like, it's not like a big gap closer. And so, like, you're going to be heavily reliant on your team.
Hmm.
However, every team will want a cleric. And so, like, it's kind of like a hit or miss kind of thing. This is what I want to kind of show with the tank and cleric.
I'll give you a tank.
So while you have this screen pulled up, this is a little off topic, but and it's kind of a hot take, I guess, maybe. I don't think it is really, but the the rogue or whoever's dual wielding these daggers right in the middle of the screen, right? The effects
This,
on the daggers, regard the whatever archetype it is totally irrelevant.
okay,
Dual wielding daggers, awesome visual effects coming off of those
it's not a
daggers,
dagger,
right?
it's a
Or
scepter.
okay, awesome visual effects coming off both hands, right? Regardless of if he's
Okay,
holding
yeah, yeah.
two weapons or not. That's what I'm talking about. One of the biggest issues that I have in retail WoW right now with the new raid and with, some of the 5-man dungeons and the mythic pluses that I've done, and I've noticed this as well in almost all of the large scale Ashes videos, is the visual effects are way too over the top. There's too many of them. Every player has 7 different things glowing between, you know, ground projected effects, visual effects floating up off of your hands while you're charging something up. And when you get 20, 30, 40 people, even 5, 10 people in a cluster fighting each other in hand to hand combat with that many effects, you can't see what the hell's going on. Maybe I'm just getting old and, my vision's going bad. I don't think that's the case, but that's what
A
I see.
lot of people have said that. A lot of people have said
Okay.
that. Grumpy agrees
Okay.
with you
Sweet.
because he's
Not a
old.
super hot take, But yeah, I think they need to tone down the visual effects.
And
That's
they are,
my
and they are
biggest.
listening
You've
to
heard.
that, and they are toning it down.
Good.
You'll actually notice over the last few that they've really done that.
Hmm.
However, I also think that if you don't have them, like all of us old people will agree with you and
Oh,
say
look
that.
at that.
Like all of us boomer
according to the chat, everybody's
MMORPGs.
being
Oh
Booming,
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
boomer.
sweet. That's my biggest. That's my biggest issue with retail WoW right now. Is I say it all the time. There's too much ground shit. There's
But
good
I'll
ground
tell
shit. There's
you,
bad ground shit, and there's nothing to disseminate what the good ground shit or the bad ground shit is.
yeah. I'll tell you. I think that if it's like not shiny and like spectacular, I think we'd lose people like Ekia. I think that he would be like, "Oh, this
Right.
game's like, oh,
Well, no,
like it's so."
you want some, right? You want the game to look
Yes,
cool.
yeah,
You're using Unreal Engine 5. We all have good machines, right? You want to use what you have, but I also want to be able to see what the hell I'm doing.
I agree with that. Also, the thing that I think that people underestimate a ton is that the status effects are going to be what determines if you're a good player or a bad player. Like if you understand when your team does a status effect thing,
Right.
that being able to capitalize off that is going to be huge, and being able to communicate and call those out are going to be huge.
There's a whole archetype that is just status effects, right? Like the Bard is literally, probably 90% just status effects. He's just
Yeah.
buffing and debuffing. That's like all he does. Or she, it's all they do, right? So yeah, the status
So I'm
effects
trying
are
to
huge.
okay.
If you want a video that really emphasizes what I was talking about with the visuals, go to the it might have even been the Bard archetype video where they fight the dragon, the raid boss outside of the city.
Yes,
Or
yeah,
that was
yeah.
the city siege, right? That was
No, I think you're talking about Firebrand. That's the most recent one. It was trying to show the raid world boss mechanic.
yes.
It was at the end of that. But this right here, yeah, I know.
That looks
I approve
super fun. I
splooge.
cannot
Straight
wait to get
splooge
into
is
that,
fine.
by the way, in Alpha 2. Like, that fight looked incredible. I think that it's going to be way harder than they made it look. Like, if you noticed how many people died during that fight and had to run back, people were dying left and right. Steven obviously
Yeah.
was immune because, hey, if you're the director of the company, why not just give yourself
No,
immunity?
he's the cameraman. That's what that was.
Yeah.
He's just the cameraman.
Yeah, and
Now,
because he
this
was
is one
immune, we
thing.
never got to see what the run back was like, right? How far were these people having to run from?
They were rezzing.
Oh, so they're getting rezzed in
Is
combat.
a ton of battle reses. It's a lot of mana. It's like 170 mana is what I noticed in the Bard stream. Is 170 some mana.
What's a typical
The
mana
wiki
pool?
says it's 250. And the mana pool was about 700, I think, with the 170. So like
Okay, so
it's about 20%.
yeah, that's more than 20%, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm bad at math. So this is what I want to show you right
up
here.
you.
So there's only two people left. You can see all the people here, and this PvP fight here, it was like majority hunters, majority fighters against like majority mages, and without only like 2 or 3 healers, right?
Okay.
Now they just wiped out the entire team, and the only 3 people that are up is the guy that's running the caravan. You have Chibi Bree, who is a cleric, and you'll have a tank. And so everybody thinks that Chibi Bree is keeping herself alive and everything like that. It's not true. And I've said no, she has a binding on her from the tank, and this wasn't in the tank showcase, but I'm going to show you guys.
That checks out.
Like you have the entire team chonking Chibi, and she's staying alive.
Chonk.
And then
where's the tank that is
hold on.
Yeah, she's
the
getting slapped right now and taking no damage, right?
Yeah, by the entire fucking team, right?
She finally dies, I think.
Nope, she's still alive,
target.
I think.
Oh yeah, she's still in there. I see her.
Wait, maybe she did.
No, she's still.
Hold on.
Yeah, she gone.
No, okay, so here she is. All right, so there's the binding. You can see, okay, so here's the binding, and here's the tank. and
Okay.
he's using his dash to get out of here. And so this is where it finally breaks. And so she had all of these people like, okay, so this is 6 perfectly. So let me go right back here. So this is where she's taking all this damage. She's hopping all around. She has so many people on her attacking her, and she's just not taking damage. And it's because that tank is sharing his health and bound with her, and so
Right.
he's protecting her.
Doesn't
And
look
then
like
once,
tank's damage isn't the tank's health doesn't appear to be going down at all either.
not very much at all either, right? And he's right there.
Subpar DPS, bro.
And
Well,
then
that's what I
when
think it
he
is.
pieces out, he runs out here. He breaks the chain.
Yeah, you
This
see
is
the
when
chain
she
right there.
dies. Yes.
Hmm.
And so this is when she finally dies. Here's where I was talking about where clerics seem to be very immobile, but even that tank was able to just peace out, right?
Hmm.
And now she finally dies. Like she had this many people on her attacking her and everything like that, and it's not until the tank leaves her that she goes down. So that brings me back to what I was saying about clerics. They have a really bad lack of mobility, but they're going to be a high need. I think both of these are going to be super high need, and I think that Intrepid needs to incentivize people to want to play these more than what they need to incentivize people to play these down here. And so, like I said, a good thing is going to be high need. You'll want one in every single group, every single party. You'll not be lacking in finding groups for that. They used to have a really high skill ceiling, and their mend effectively allowed them to be their own shadow priest as a healer. What it was is after 3 consecutive casts of mend, you actually start to yeah, like Daynor, I know that she was healing and doing stuff, but still, you have 20 people attacking her. She should have died fast, and she didn't. And so people say, "Oh, she like priests are so overpowered, or clerics are so overpowered."
Right.
I disagree. I think it's the binding that is overpowered. I think that tank being bound to her is what kept her alive. So, so it used to operate so they were basically their own shadow priest, and they could actually manage their own mana.
I get you with mana regen via casting or damage on a mob.
But you would have to continually keep your min stacks up. You had 5 charges, and you had to like intertwine them with all your heals to make it powerful. But they took it all out, and so it's just like kind of lackluster now. And so like I don't think it's going to be necessarily as fun as it was going to be a healer, but I think it's going to be like all of the healers in WoW with their different things. And specifically, it's going to be like New World. They have a New World style heal that goes around the caster, but then they have other ones that are more like WoW tab target heals. And then they have like the Resto Shaman chain heal. They have, hots. They have a priest save that is a hot that if the target dies, they go up to 20% health. They have a lot of different things in their kit. Sacred Ground. They have a Sacred Ground.
Some ground shit right there, dude. I'm telling you.
I think it's even called Sacred Ground.
There's going to be too much ground shit.
Yeah, and see, one of the ones they have is like a Dungeonborn healer, like where you place it on the ground and everybody has like 2 seconds to get into it, like that kind of stuff.
But that's
and so like that kind of stuff you need to see.
Visual,
yeah,
right? That needs
exactly.
a visual.
And so that brings me down here to Bard. Oh, okay, and like a little disclaimer here, I don't have any interest in playing a mage. I think it's going to be very similar to the rogue, as far as like it's just going to be the top range DPS.
Give me that big
like
DP psycho.
Like it is in WoW. I think that they're going to be just like a mage compared to a warlock in WoW. I think that they're going to be the better caster range DPS, and the warlock's going to be more of the utility caster DPS that'll be like comparative. The summoner will, but I think it's going to be the same kind of thing as what it is in WoW for both of these, feeling wise as far as playing them.
Sure.
I figure I'd hop in here if you wanted a little more context on the mage.
Oh yeah, go.
I mean, just based off of what I experienced in Alpha 1, it was rough in Alpha 1 because Mage had a skill that regen mana. It was like a dot that you could put on people that regen mana. And that was like all I was doing the entire time in Alpha 1 because everyone was just ripping through their mana and calling for uh, mages to buff them with the mana regen or whatever it was.
That's annoying.
But that said, that also was before Bard existed, and I believe Bard is going to fill that niche.
I also think that's why they nerfed Mend.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, there's even in Alpha 1 there was multiple ways to like really build out your mage, and you could go like full on like mana battery if you wanted to. You could do a variety of different things. So I think we'll need more context in the upcoming tests, but yeah, they haven't like Pocket said earlier, they haven't redone the showcase on Mage recently,
Right.
so we don't know a whole lot of detail about it, other than just what we can glean from like the list of skills, really. So
Yeah, we assume there's people working on these classes,
yeah,
non-stop. So, the showcase for, the Ranger that was done in December of last year, we assume it's going to be a little bit different.
well, yeah, and the extra context of the skill trees that they've implemented recently can completely change the way classes play.
Right.
So I think Mage is going to have a lot more variety than people really give it credit for, and like different ways to play it. But we'll have to see when we get into the
hmm
future
What is the
tests.
other, aside from Cleric, what is the other, like, main healing archetype? Is there one?
It's Bard is an
Bard would be
off
the
healer.
closest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So there isn't really, because I mean, dude, I'll play Cleric. I'll be the healer.
Yeah,
I
cleric
love
is the
healing.
really only dedicated class to heal right now.
That's what I'm doing in, retail right now while I'm messing around
I
waiting for Alpha 2 to drop.
I feel like just with how much variety you can have in like the skill trees and stuff like that, I feel like Bard may be possible to, give cleric a run for their money as far as like if they're allowed to build that deep into healing and
I,
buffs
I
and stuff like
don't
that.
I don't think they can pull it off. I think that you'll need like
Well,
especially like PvP, I think you'll need to have a cleric. I don't think
if
you can.
you're talking about base classes, I would agree with that, but I think once augments come into play, that might be a different story. We'll have to see though.
Yeah, I'll have to see it.
Because
And
if you do Bard Cleric or something like that, I think that might be pretty strong.
yeah,
hmm
it could be. Um I put this on here that I think that operates very close to Rakan in League of Legends. Rakan is actually like a tank support. He has two dashes. He can dash in and shield. He shields himself and shields a target. And then he can dash again within a few seconds and shield himself and shield that other target. He has a dash forward that like CCs and pops people up, which like that's not really there. But then he has like a very small kind of heal that goes with it. It's more of the like the way that he plays is a game changing skills and mechanics kind of thing. I think that of everything that we've seen so far, I think the Bard is going to have the highest skill ceiling. And so you're going to have bards in every group, but you're going to have very few good bards. And so I actually, in my opinion, I don't know if this is the case, but I think Bard is probably the third most mobile class, and I think a Bard with a Ranger and a Bard with a Rogue are going to make those Rangers and those Rogues even more mobile than what they already are.
hmm
Bard, I think, is going to be incredibly important to group comps because Bard is going to be that class that makes everyone better and not just
Right.
one individual or your the Bard
Yeah,
itself. It's going to be a massive buff to, and I don't mean that like obviously pun intended, I guess, but it, the Bard is definitely going to be a massive difference to a group versus another class that doesn't have the ability to buff everybody. Like
I
that percentage difference in people's damage because you're buffing the entire party's damage versus just one individual or something like that is going to be a big deal.
There was a time that I was thinking that you would, instead of having a bard, you would actually have 2 clerics, but I don't think that's actually the case. Now, like you're still gonna want to do what you did in raids in WoW, where you're gonna want a cleric that specifically focuses on the tank, and you want to have tank healers, and then like you'll want to have like a raid AOE healer and stuff like that. The same thing is with bard. Like the bard has gambit, which allows them to switch health with somebody, but if your tank has like 3k hit points and your bard only has like 400 hit points, which I'm just like, I'm stretching that a little bit, but if that's the case, then when your bard gives 80% of their hit points, the tank's gonna get like a swing, you know, like that's about all they're gonna get from it. And so like I actually think that one thing that you'll do in like a 40-man group is you'll have like a bard tank secondary who does nothing but stack stamina, and the skills that the bard is going to use, there's 3 different like things they could put on. Number one, if the people in your group are going to receive 20% more healing, which I could see being one that they would use like for their melody. And then I could also see them using a dance that increases the avoidance of everybody that's within range. And then I would also see them sitting there waiting to gambit for like when the tank gets low. They're going to take that health, you know, and they're going to give them like it's going to be like the massive heal and everything like that. And
you're going to see a massive skill gap between the bards and that bard that has less health and decides to gambit the tank and actually gives the tank less health.
Yeah. Well, they can't drop them below 20%, and so like that is the misnomer.
But still, I mean, it's still gonna. There's gonna be good bards and there's gonna be bad bards, and there's gonna be a massive gap between them.
And like imagine
the good bards will have the situational awareness. Like, well, I don't know if you've gone over it yet, Poggets, that the stream for the dragon fight, the latest dev stream that they did.
Yes.
I always forget his name. The dev that
Firebrand. Oh wait. Bucky.
Bucky. Yeah. Bucky was an absolute legend as far as playing that bard. Like, he had such good situational awareness, and I think that really showcased not just Bucky's skill, but just the potential of a bard that has that situational awareness and knows timing and like, oh, I can see this coming, I better get ready and set this up, you know. It's gonna be a big deal.
Hold on a second. I have
Oh, are you gonna show him the clip where he shields everybody just in time?
Not that one.
Holy crap, that was crazy. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna show a better one.
Better one.
Like like there's parts in here where Bucky this is Citadel group. Here we go. Okay. There's a point where Bucky actually 3355.
Oh, his gambit. Yeah. Clutch gambit.
Wait, 3355. Hold on. All right. So like right here, I think it's GG well played is taking a lot of damage or something. And like Steven's kind of healing and stuff. Okay. Yeah, GG well played is going down. He's getting low, and Steven pulls out his AoE that's going to take a few seconds. That's what we're kind of watching here. And he just topped off before everything happened. Let me go back a little bit. So he's going down, going down. He lost like 60% of his health. Steven just now pulls out the heal. And you'll notice down here, Bucky went all the way down. And so like all that health that he just got is just what went to Bucky. And Bucky moved out of the range and he came all the way over here in this area. So he like even when he healed, he didn't want to get AoE'd down and stuff like that. It's like the situational awareness, like it makes it insane how good it is. So based on that, on everything that we kind of went through, Moctez, what are you thinking that you are going to go for your, like, is it Ranger or Fighter that you're kind of leaning towards? Or
I'm still thinking Ranger.
Still thinking Ranger. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. I mean, if we needed one, I would run Cleric. But I think for me personally, like what would be the most enjoyable for my play style in games, it would definitely be Ranger.
Gotcha. And like you're gonna stay up a little bit longer, right?
Yeah, I likely will. You've got to get out of here. Your wife's gonna be pissed.
I do. And so
Just
I'm gonna
blame it
raid
on
over
me.
to you,
Throw
and
me
I'm
under
gonna
the
go to
bus.
bed. I'm glad that I kind of got us like let you know a little bit. I gave all the information. Hopefully, it helped other people that are in the chat and stuff. But
Sorry I hijacked you guys a little bit.
Oh no, you're good. Did you just go quiet?
Your pockets.
Say what?
I think you muted yourself somehow.
I did not. I was just talking to my stream.
Oh, gotcha. There you go.
But here we go. Send it over.
Oh, it's destroying it. What was that?
Oh.
I was streaming your stream.
So much stuff backed up.
Turn that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, knowing how much you love Hunter in WoW, I feel like Ranger's gonna be your jam for sure because it's got a lot of like micromanagement, situational stuff that you can do. So I don't think you'll really get bored with it.
Right.
Personally, I don't like micromanaging too much.
Thanks for follow.
But that's just me though. I like to keep things simpler, but
yeah, I enjoy, seeing what I can push the envelope to by myself.
I do think the Rangers are going to be far more like flexible as far as like what they encounter though, because they've got the tool set to adapt really easily.
Right. Well, Vandar. Who was that? I missed that. Okay, well now I gotta decide what I'm gonna do. I guess we'll pull up some WoW if anybody wants to stay for that. It's just
I'll lurk and stuff, but I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, you need to get out of here.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Night, Pockets. Have a good night, dude. Sleep well.
Heard he's kind of psycho. Any truth to that?
Rubbing off on too many people, I guess.
Yeah, there probably is. There probably is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when people are going back to retail when they're itching for ashes right
Itching
now.
for a bitchin'? Oh.
Oh, really? It's making me authenticate. We were just talking about two-step the other day.
Was Pockets talking to me? Or was he talking to you?
That's weird. Oh, it's double logged in. Alright, we'll do some PvP. Kind of approve the spreadsheet if you want to go over later. Oh, I think he's talking to me. He sent me a I approved it. And I opened it. And I have it.
Got it. Okay.
Spec swap here. Gear swap. Four minutes. It's not bad. It's a nice little transmog there. I've actually been enjoying retail well. It's a completely different game.
Yeah, I have heard a lot of people saying that it's pretty good this time around. So.
The crafting system is probably the hardest content I've played in any MMORPG ever. It's like too in depth and far too difficult. It's really depressing, actually. I'm gonna grab something to drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, almost missed my cue.
Yeah, I think the most in-depth crafting I've ever experienced in any game is probably Mortal. Mortal Online has insane in-depth crafting.
I don't know if I'd even say that, like, it's in depth. It's just confusing.
Oh.
And I guess it is a touch. It's in depth, you know. There's like, let's see if I can pull it up here. There's like obviously different materials you need, but then the materials have different tiers. And some of the materials you have to craft, and you have to craft those materials with different tiered materials. So like you use a tier of a material to craft the material you need, which the original material has tiers, and then the material you craft has tiers.
Man,
And then from there, yeah, it's a fucking nightmare, dude.
can't sleep.
No?
Just came to see what everybody was doing.
You will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep. That scene's so funny. Yeah, it's when you start getting into like tierception of materials, that gets annoying real quick.
Yeah.
In Mortal, you didn't really have tiers, but what was crazy about Mortal crafting is you had sliders of like how much material of each component you wanted to use, and it would actually change the stats of whatever you were making. It was pretty crazy.
Oh, okay.
And it would like change the weight of the item and stuff, which so it's take like a 200 sword or something like that. If you made a two-handed sword out of like bone or something like that, it would be pretty lightweight, but it wouldn't be very durable.
Oh, Ezekiel King, thanks for following. Yeah.
But if you made it out of a different material and you cranked that slider to max or something like that, it would be like, you know, if you did it like out of heavy metal or something like that, it would be super heavy and durable, but it would also take like a massive chunk for you, a massive chunk of stamina for you to swing the thing. So there's a lot of trial and error in their crafting system. It's pretty crazy. People would figure out like min-max recipes and stuff like that, and they would keep stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna take off. I think.
What were you guys talking about anyway? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, crafting and retail up.
On the stream, Pocket was going through like, classes and stuff like that.
Trying to decide what class.
Oh, you were talking about
for
inventory and stuff.
A2.
I thought you were talking about something else. Because I hate the inventory system in Ashes, and they need to fix it. Like now.
Before we start playing it.
Alright. I was just curious. I'll talk to you. I'm just gonna go see what Grumpy's up to. Welcome to join. Doesn't matter. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off.
Alright, see you Psycho. Good night.
Yeah, I'll catch you
You guys have a good night.
Alright, Mott. See ya.
Later, Mott.
Some arenas here before I ultimately decide to. Bandit rolling. Something there was killing performance.